It's the Vegas Toy SquadCast, starring Vegas Toy Squad.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Vegas Toy Squad SquadCast. This is episode number 39. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a long while.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's an entirely new year. We took a vacation.
Certainly feels like that.
Yeah.
And a lot has happened in that time.
There has been a lot that has happened.
It's been very
Oh my goodness.
productive.
For those of you just joining us, and if you forgot, my name is Rick.
I'm Frank.
I'm Rob. In the back we have
Patti!
our very special guest today. Once again, for the second time, right? Just the second time.
Just a second time.
All right.
Hi, I'm Russ.
It's Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Ross is a gamer.
Yep. Gamer and sculptor.
Gamer and sculptor. And he doesn't like to say, but also teacher.
Also teacher. Artist,
artist in general. Too. Artist in general.
Artist,
Don't sell yourself short.
artist, art
I've seen your
educator.
paintings.
So we're going to talk about games a little bit later, but we're going to catch up on some other stuff.
Yep.
All the exciting stuff that's been happening since we last tuned in.
December, right?
We had the kids on last time.
We did the squad.
We did.
The
Squadlings.
Utes.
I don't like to be called squadlings anymore.
No, they're squadsters.
Well, they're
Squadsters.
still under 18, so we'll call them whatever we want to call them.
Borderline squadsters.
And they will like it.
We had Christmas, we had New Year, now it's February,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
here we are.
All right, so what's been going on, fellas?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
All right, moving
Let's
on.
talk about games. That's just kidding.
I shouldn't say nothing.
So, Frank,
Well,
I got
Frank,
some.
Let's talk about Frank's got the
Probably the
biggest
biggest.
news, I think. out of
let's start
everyone.
with that. Yeah.
My wife had 2 babies 2 months early on Christmas Day. And,
Yay! Woo!
Christmas babies.
Go
Christmas
Celia.
babies. Their
For
names
those of
are
you
Luke
listening,
and Leia.
that's twins.
Twins.
Yes, they're twins, and
Boy and a
in
girl,
case
they're
we
Luke
missed
and
it,
Leia.
you got to say it again.
They're Luke and Leia.
Yes.
Because they were
Just
born on
go.
Life Day.
Like,
Man, life day. They were.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But ironically, my wife's the one that really pushed Luke and Leia on me. So I said it jokingly when we found out we were having twins. I said, you know,
Well,
we called them Luke and Leia, right?
it's the natural
I had to say it.
choice.
But she's the one that said, hey, I think we're going to go with Luke and Leia for Frank. And I'm going to say, really? Okay.
God bless you,
All right,
Celia.
let's do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, congratulations, Frank.
Yes.
Yep.
And Celia.
Yep, they're still in the
Well,
hospital,
she's
but
not here on the panel. That's why I'm
But
just...
she's listening.
And Celia. All right.
So, yeah.
Congrats.
She brought 2 babies in.
Yeah, she did all the
She
did all the
She
heavy
did all the
lifting.
work. He had all the fun.
I was just there. Saw some things I shouldn't have. But moving on.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you
again.
very much. Thank
Big
you. guys.
news. Exciting.
So we have official squadlings.
Official.
Yes.
Official.
Little Jedi.
There you go. How long until they're on the SquadCast? We'll have to wait and
It
see.
might be a while.
It might be a while.
Might be a while. Unless they show up in costumes.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
And so, Rick, what else is going on in your world?
I finally escaped my other job and got a new job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Still in education, but now I'm a principal and I no longer have to work for CCSD. So
Ooh la la, look at this.
That's a good
Silent cheer.
silent cheer. I'm roaring from the mountaintops.
Yes.
Let the trumpets roar.
Congratulations due there as well. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw me smile talking about a job?
I know.
Yeah.
I'll rub it in.
But this is a fun podcast.
That's right.
About
Yes, it is.
toys and fun and games.
fun.
So,
Very true.
That's right.
so we'll go to greener pastures.
That's exactly right.
So we had a lot of big stuff happen in the interim. The Rise of Skywalker came out, which everyone's seen by now. We can talk freely without spoilers. And
It's February.
the ending of The Mandalorian. The 2 big Star Wars
Yes.
properties. The opening, actually, of Rise of the Resistance in Disneyland.
Yes.
Which
Get
they-
in line now.
They had it, yeah. We'll talk about that. They had it a few months before us in Orlando, right?
I think in December it opened.
Oh, okay.
Just a month early.
So, yeah, actually, we were there, not for the opening, but this last week. And
We have some insider information.
we had quite an experience and some advice. So you'll want to tune in if you're planning on going to Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland. You're going to want to listen to this because it's not as easy as it may seem.
Nope, I was there and I didn't get to go.
Yeah, we tried 3 different days and got on one. But,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So, but
Details
Yeah.
coming.
Holy cow.
details forthcoming.
So then, I'm assuming if you only go there for one day, then the chances of you getting on in that one day are slim to none.
They're not great.
I wouldn't
They're not
count
great.
on it, especially if you're thinking of coming anytime like a little after the park opens. I think your chances are increased if you're there right at opening, but even then,
I was told if you're there at 8 a.m., you're too late.
Well, time
it's
has.
not even really that though. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we should just get into
Let's
this.
Just go for
We're
it.
just
Beat
diving.
around the bush now. Let's-
So we spent the last week at Disneyland. We got there Tuesday, came home Friday. Well, yeah, we were there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the park. And these are now you have an app that shows how. What is it? The Disney app?
Yeah, the Disney app, and it's a Disneyland app, I should say, and it gives you wait times.
But I mean, does it show you how? Because you said like it's a 2-day or like today out of 10 how the crowd.
No,
meter.
that was another thing, another blog that I follow,
Okay.
Undercover Tourist, and they give you like a crowd calendar. But I think Disney does offer their own crowd calendar as well.
Okay.
And so we were supposed to be there on a day that was like a 2 out of 10, a 3 out of 10, and a 2 out of 10.
Right.
I didn't really notice that they were low.
We've been there at busy times, but the park seemed pretty busy for a 2.
It seemed busier than what I would have thought when we've been there, and it's been emptier.
So we had no idea. I mean, our daughter clued us in a little bit, but of course then we went and just forgot everything we learned and just figured, we'll go and we'll get on Rise of the
right.
Resistance and it'll be fun. But no. So you have to have the app to go on the ride. You have to join a boarding group, and you can't join a boarding group until your ticket's been validated. That's true, right?
That's true. But let's say we went in on Thursday was our magic morning, our extra hour. So my thinking was, let me get in line at 7 a.m. to enter at 8 a.m. so that I can get in the queue. Get there, get in line, we get in, they make an announcement at 8 a.m. that the queue doesn't start until the park officially opens at 9 a.m. So why was I up at 5:30 getting ready and walking all that way to stand in the cold for an extra 2 hours?
Yeah.
You know, the thing is you need to be in the park, and those lines can be long to get in. So if you get there too close to opening, you will get screwed. So you do want to get there a little early.
You have to be up in the front, near the front of the line,
Right.
because as soon as 9 o'clock hits, every single person in that park, their head goes down to their phone and they go on the app.
Literally,
well, I mean, starting
everything
like about
stops.
5 minutes before that, because
Yeah.
people where we were counting down. They're like 23 seconds
Yeah.
till the time when, and then
It's a little too intense for me.
the day.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. The day that we actually did get on, the third day when we finally figured out the system, and everybody's like, "Oh, you should get on," you know, because the park was supposed to be less crowded. We had the app. We were in Star Wars Galaxy.
We were in line
Galaxy's
for
Edge.
Smuggler's
We were
Run.
in line at 9 when everything opened up. And her app wasn't responding. It was still like grayed out. And I'm like,
Right.
refresh. So the people next to us are like, we got in 23. We're in group 23. And I'm like, refresh, do your thing. So Patti gets on. She hits the button to join the boarding group. We're in group 90.
Less than a minute after
Like
the
within
people behind
30
us
seconds.
Holy cow.
in
Yeah.
line. So what I've read now, of course, a week later, people are suggesting that when you go with other people, you all get the app and you all link tickets. and then you all are trying at the same time. Because maybe
The
if like
fastest
all
one.
5 of us went, maybe only your phone would get in, but if
Right.
we're all linked, then we'd be in your boarding group. So there are some ways to try and be strategic. But if it's just 2 of you, and it doesn't matter, it's like we're trying, and people behind us with a bigger group,
Right.
they got in ahead of us. So one of the other things is that as soon as you get a boarding group, it tells you right away, any groups above 72, no guarantee that you're getting on today. We were group 90. So right then we're like, oh, and then the countdown starts.
And we had talked to some people who said they had gone on it the day before, but they were in line with other people they heard that told them they were group 118.
Yes.
And they got to group 115 and cut it off. They'd waited all day long. They thought they were getting in, and then right at the end of the night, they cut it off, and these people, their group didn't get to go on. So there's really no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. So if you were planning on one day, it's a crapshoot. We had the best opportunity because we had 3 days. Now the first 2 days we weren't doing
squandered.
things right. We weren't. We
Yeah.
didn't really understand it. And like the very first day, I'm like, oh, let's go get the locker and then I'll try.
Yeah. Bad
that was 10
idea.
minutes gone, and they were out within like the first 10 minutes of opening. So we learned and we figured it out, but I think one day you're kind of risking it. You know, you could still go into Galaxy's Edge. You can definitely do Smuggler's Run. You can enjoy so many other things about it. But if that's your goal to get on Rise of the Resistance, that's not going to do it. That's not enough of a goal.
It does pay to be in line early because it gets you into the park early, and then you just have to make sure you have a good connection.
Yeah,
A good-
maybe upgrade your phone
Yeah.
before you go. Check your Wi-Fi, you know.
Make sure that you're active, live,
Yeah.
connected, and then just you
Sounds
gotta
like a lot.
yeah.
When we
But
finally
holy
got,
crap.
so we didn't end up getting called. Our boarding group went that night. It was after 8 when they said they were boarding group 90, but we were okay because the park was open till 10. So we think, okay, now we're going to go and we're going to get on.
Yeah, no, that's when the wait begins.
That's when you get invited to join your boarding group, and you go and wait in the longest line I have ever encountered in all my years of attending Disneyland. We were in line almost an hour and a half.
Longer than the Cars ride?
An hour and a half. I never waited that long for cars.
No.
but
And
I've
there's no
seen
fast
lines.
pass for this.
There is no fast
Yeah, there's
pass.
no-
It's
it's
just,
just- yeah.
what it is. But so we wait, and it's like 9:30 when we finally get to it. But
We
it
heard-
was amazing.
We haven't seen it, but we heard there's somewhere along the line there's a bathroom for people because the
Oh,
line
really?
they knew it was going to be that long,
goodness.
so they put a bathroom in
ridiculous.
the queue somewhere. But yeah, I mean it's
It's the longest attraction ride I've ever been on.
it was about a 20-minute total. Well, how much of this
20 minutes.
and it's like
All right.
3
I know,
or 4.
I know it's 20 minutes long. And I
It's
know there's
3 or
actors.
4 different rides.
we have to
in
be
one.
careful because Frank doesn't want to hear
I'm
too much.
going to tread carefully. It's a mashup, if I could say, of
You can do it.
I can
It's
say
okay.
mashups. I
It's not
think
going to hurt my feelings.
of like
I know a little bit. I know a little
Guardians
bit.
of
Rob.
the Galaxy / Tower of Terror kind
It's
of
like
aspect.
5 attractions
It's
in
like
one.
Cars Land for a little bit. It's like the Haunted Mansion. It's like, what was another one we were saying? We have like 4 that we were. Oh, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's a mashup of all of those. This is, honest to God, the greatest ride in existence currently. I don't know
Attraction.
how they would top it. Attraction.
Well, I mean, it's the longest ride in any park I think I've ever even heard of. 20 minutes.
I don't know
What
how
ride is
they
that?
will do anything beyond this, honestly, because or if this is the new standard.
Well, that's the thing. They're setting the bar very high for future projects because this is going to be hard to beat.
It's like you do the one thing and you kind of think, oh, well, then that's it. But then, no, there's a part 2. And then you think, well, maybe that's it. And then there's a part 3. And then you're like, well, wait. Oh, not done yet. So it's like there are all these different things that, and like you're moving.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like it's a multitude of different rides meshed into one.
That's incredible.
So it's very worth it if you have the patience and the willingness to gamble.
And it's the only time that cast members are encouraged and allowed to be nasty to you.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, they're horrible.
Well,
They're probably dressed as
they're just kind of they're playfully mean.
Because
get back in
resistance.
line.
It's the resistance.
Yeah.
Because we're the resistance. You're the
It's
resistance,
the first
yeah.
order, and they're
Yeah.
heckling you.
They heckle and it's like we were saying, it's the one place where they're not smiling.
they don't smile.
Everywhere else in the park, everybody smiles, they greet you. Yeah, I don't ever see any people who work there having a bad day.
Yeah.
And this one, they're just all looking cross.
They're all scowling,
and they've got these
it's just
expressions. So it's just the whole mood.
it's very cool.
It's yes.
Pretty cool.
And that's where I'd have to work now.
Yeah, hands out, hands
If I
out.
was working at Disney again, I'd have to work there now. I'm too salty.
Oh yeah,
Work any of that.
you'd be great.
Hi! I can't do that anymore. I don't have that in me.
Come on.
My early years, I had that, but that patience word that you just said earlier, it's fleeting.
It's it's worth the price of admission for sure. It's worth the wait. It's worth. I don't know that it's worth the headache that we went through, but that was just our own. We should have. You got to go in knowing what you're doing and knowing what to expect. Do some research.
It's also like one of those things where Disney should communicate that to people better, more effectively.
I think
Yeah.
they're
People want
trying
to. Okay.
to. So is it okay to tell them like what happened to us? So, well, I'm going to because I've already set it up. So we had 2 days where we were just, heartbroken and disappointed that this wasn't
I was
working
done
out.
with Disneyland. I was never
Yeah.
coming back.
He was like the third day. I'm not even going to try. Whatever.
Right.
Good luck.
It's
not
a people
happening.
trap set by a mouse.
So
I want nothing to do
we
with
do
it.
get our Group 90 boarding pass. We do Smuggler's Run, and we're just kind of then chilling afterwards. He's taking some pictures, and we just found a quiet little spot in Galaxy's Edge to hang out. And a cast member, her name was Haley, she came over to us, and she was with the Resistance, so she was a nicer person. And she came over and she just started talking to us. Where are you from? How have you liked it? What do you think of Galaxy's Edge? And we're talking, and she said, have you been on Rise yet? And we said no. And we kind of told her, we're like, we've tried for 2 days, but we're supposed to hopefully get on tonight, but we're 90. And she goes, oh. And then we explained that I went there so early that morning, thinking that would make a difference, to find out, no, it doesn't matter. And so she leaves. About 10 minutes later, she comes back, completely out of the blue. She goes, so you guys, would you want to go on the ride now? Would you want to go on Rise right now? And I look up, because I'm in the middle of trying to book us dinner at like Blue Bayou, which is this other shishi restaurant. And I'm like, wait, what? He turns around, he's like, excuse me? And she goes, yeah, I can walk you on. She's like, I checked with, my manager.
She talked to her manager,
And,
they said,
you guys have been really nice about this. Some people get very upset and, have,
she
a
didn't
fit.
hear me the day before.
And she's like, but, you guys are
that
so
mouse.
nice and this is your last day and I just really want to make sure you get on. So,
Wow.
in the morning, like before 10 a.m.
Yeah.
that day, we were walked on. We didn't have to deal with the hour-and-a-half wait that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And she walked us literally to a place. They took us. She said something. Next thing you know, we were in the first phase of it.
Movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then that night when we went back, some people behind us had heard that we'd been there before, and so they were asking us, well, how much longer? And we had to say, well, we don't have any idea what this wait is because we didn't do this wait before. Mm-hmm. And then we were explaining to them what happened. So it was very nice.
Oh, so you got to go twice then.
We got
Twice
to go
in
twice,
one day,
which
which
they
is
tell
like-
you
yeah. That's
all
unheard
over
of.
the place.
That's
It's
unheard
a
of.
once a day
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
that you do. So thank you to Haley.
Yes.
We're going to give her a nice shout out when I do my Disney survey and mention her. But it's just like, that just goes to show that
Patti,
there
you
are
got like a
people
special
out
ring
there.
or something flashing, like do like a handshake or something.
Probably have all. Do you have all those Disney pins? Are you one of those people?
No,
She
I'm
saw.
not
Ooh,
that.
they have the commemorative
I'm
one.
not
I'm going to talk
that.
to them.
I think she saw
It's just being nice.
she saw some sad older people who wanted to go on this dumb ride and couldn't get on.
She saw that we were, bummed out, but we weren't trashing the man. And we were just saying, we're really hopeful that tonight's going to work out.
Wow.
Well, the thing apparently is pretty, it's so incredibly involved that it's prone to small breakdowns here and there. So they're like, yeah, they only get. I mean, they got up to 1:15 the night we heard about.
The night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a 10 o'clock closing night.
No, that night closed at 8.
Oh.
Wednesday.
They got up to 1:15. So it's like, but our night they only got up into the 90s.
Because it broke down.
So
a few more
yeah,
times.
it's like it's a crapshoot. It could be broken down for a couple hours, and that sets everything back. So it's everything's real risky right now. But man, is it incredible!
I mean, it's got to be running. That's incredible. Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
All right. So anyway.
So yeah, that's our big Disney.
So one day we'd like to take a field trip there, guys.
See, we were supposed to save that for the end of the podcast because that was the big how you tease until the big thing
Ads.
that people want to hear.
There's too much excitement.
Now we got all the advice out. Everybody knows how to get on Rise of the Resistance.
Good luck, friends.
Nobody's gonna listen to the rest.
See, my Star Wars experience in the Galaxy Edge was not as
Pleasant.
as yours,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why?
Tell us.
Well, then
Frank.
again, I was also stewarding kids, and one of our kids, after about 3 hours, says, "Hey, I left my wallet at what was that? What was that Pixar one? That restaurant that's over by Space Mountain."
Pizza Planet?
Yes,
Yeah,
Pizza
yeah,
Planet.
yeah.
She goes, "I left my wallet at Pizza Planet." I'm like, "When did you?" We were there 3 hours ago. I'm like, you're just now telling me that you left it there? She's like, "Yeah." She goes, "I knew it, but I just didn't think. I figured we could go back." I'm like, wow. So one of our chaperones took her, and I was left with a lot more of the kids, and they went like this, and at night in
Galaxy's Edge. Oh wow.
So
and how old are the kids?
they were in 4th grade. They were in 4th grade.
Boy.
So
Wow.
we finally got to. I rounded them all up at the Millennium Falcon, and I gave a long speech about,
That's
look,
the
you're not
place
doing
to
this
do it.
again, or we are going to go and sit for the next few hours, and you're not going to ride any rides. So as soon as we did that, we went into single riders. Guess what? They were gone. They were on the stairs, and I was talking to the other chaperone. I said, "Look, I'm going to get in front of these guys." The lady had taken 2 of the kids already, and they were off in the ride.
Wow.
And I'm like, "I need to get in there now. You took 2 of my kids. I'm chaperoning, and I need to get ahead of them." And she's like, "Well, I can get you on the ride, but I can't put you in their boarding."
Which ride?
It was the Smuggler's Run.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in the Millennium Falcon. This is my experience there, just blown away. But at this point, I'm seething because
Yeah, you're not.
I'm like trying to track down these kids. And then I go in this room with 5 other people I don't know, and we're taking off in the Millennium Falcon. And I'm just like hitting the buttons like, when does this ride end? I gotta go find these kids. I'm just like hitting these buttons, and it was so but visually it was incredible. But I couldn't enjoy it at all. So it's so
that's
cool. Incredible. Believe the quality of this ride. This one guy next to me is like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "Push the blinking buttons." But it was like in my nicest voice that I could at that point.
Aw, Frank.
But that was my experience. They didn't want to go into any of the shops. They just wanted to ride, and they just wanted to go next. So it was maddening towards the end of this is the end of my evening too. So
9 and 10-year-olds, that's rough.
yeah, it was pretty wild. But we're gonna go back and check it out. But the detail alone in that park was incredible. I don't care what movie it was. It could have been any movie, but the attention to detail that they spent in that park is absolutely incredible.
It's like walking into a different world.
Yeah, it literally
Literally.
is. Literally is. Like, you hear the sounds from the bushes when you're walking in, and like...
Even the bathrooms. There's not to be weird, but all the details.
That's weird.
Even
It's not weird.
in
ahead.
the faucets and everything in the bathroom. It's just it's completely out
I
of
was-
the world.
Honestly, I was disappointed in the Galaxy's Edge experience. I expected more. What about you?
I thought there was going to be more, but honestly, I just know how brand new it is, and they're just pushing it as fast as they can. They're coming to the end of these movies.
I expected
so they had
more
to push it out.
characters, more people interacting.
I feel
and
like they're
walking
gonna get
about.
there. I feel
there
like
were
they'll
only
get there.
2 stormtroopers, right?
And Kylo Ren.
And Kylo Ren and Chewbacca every once in a while
Chewbacca,
we
that's
saw.
too.
But I mean,
Right.
I expected, troopers kind of here and there, and people kind of harassing people.
I did
and-
every now and then. I did see troopers walk by.
We
It
saw
might have been
Rey
the time
once,
too.
but But that was really
But it was just the two of them, and then, you know, over and over again. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a more immersive, interactive experience. Basically, it's like, you know, very cool environments, and then the couple of rides and a bunch of shops, you know.
Yeah.
But the shops and restaurants and whatnot.
Again, I didn't get the experience.
I didn't. Yeah,
I
we
was like,
didn't
it
do
was
the
running by. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
We didn't do the cantina, which everybody was disappointed that we didn't.
It's a long line out the door. I obviously
Yeah.
You
couldn't
need
do
a
that either.
reservation.
I had kids. I couldn't go to the
You
cantina.
can't get in without a reservation. It's
I would have found a way, Patty. I would have found a way to that.
I'm going
There's
with
always a
Frank
way to
next
that cantina. Yeah. It might have worked. They might have been like, all right, dude.
It might have,
You're not the
yeah.
first one to try that, but I liked it. Yeah. Maybe my cadence.
And then Smuggler's Run. What did you think of that?
I thought it was awesome. Again, I went in the single riders, so I didn't get to go through the line where you see Hondo and all the cool stuff that they had in there. So the single riders, that's why the kids got grabbed. They just ran into the single riders, so I followed them in there, and that's
So
how
you
everything
bypass
fell
all
apart.
that when you go in
I
single rider?
bypass it
Oh.
and go right directly into
that
the main.
cuts out so
part
much
the
of
movie.
the fun.
Yeah.
Right, and again, like I,
didn't know
said,
single
my experience
riders
wasn't
missed that.
super enjoyable, but I was still thankful that I got to go. You know, like I was super thankful that I got to go and
Yeah.
see that stuff. But knowing that I'm coming back to see if it was worth the experience to come back, and it definitely was. Like I'm definitely gonna go back and spend a few hours in Galaxy Edge and
You
pour
need to
over the
really,
details and,
take it in.
yeah, and I did get a chance eventually once we got out of there. I'm like, we're done, no more rides. We're all gonna stand here and wait for the other chaperone, and we got to check out some of the cool stuff that was right there because I'm like, we're not moving. So
The
Might
only
as well explore
negative
what's here.
that I felt with Smuggler's Run was that if you weren't the pilots, so if you were the gunners or the engineers, you had to button mash.
Yes.
And so you're missing the
Your
cool
attention
visuals.
is distracted from the main point of the ride.
Yes.
Now, what if you were a gunner and chose to do nothing?
Then,
We don't know. You wouldn't get a score. You do get a score.
But
Right.
it
In the
doesn't,
game.
it doesn't affect the outcome.
It doesn't affect the outcome.
100%.
Which is, I was saying. The
Because-
same thing with the engineers, because the engineers repair damages and nothing happens.
So
that's the voice
All right.
of Pixie
His
Dust.
voice. Wait a
So,
minute. Who is that?
yeah, preemptive spoiler alert. We're talking about Smuggler's Run if you haven't been on, and Rise of the Resistance, or post-emptive, I guess, because we've already
Too
talked
late.
about it. But we're gonna go further, so turn back now. And that's our daughter in the background chiming in that you can barely hear.
Sorry. Here.
Oh, speaking of, we have a couple shout-outs to give today, right?
Oh,
And we have a couple of faithful
Oh,
viewers?
yeah,
BTS
we
fans.
do. No, I was just kidding. I said that because I knew that they were going to be
Oh.
dejected.
some fans.
We're going to save that to the end, and they have to watch the entire
Oh,
story.
all right.
Oh,
I get one already.
Exactly.
Watch it in my
Not
class.
during class.
Yeah, not during class.
Don't watch it during the class.
Maybe we should just.
That's what I want.
Maybe we should tell them now. Hey, put it away.
There you go.
That's right. Put it away.
Put it away. Watch it after class.
Get back to work. Or Miss W.
Miss W.
Yes.
good for your
That's right.
teacher.
So
Talking to you, Alex and Frank.
there you go. You got it out there.
Man.
So I don't
Getting
know.
scolded.
Naming names.
We rode Smuggler's Run twice. The first time
Sorry, go on.
we had pilots. That's what we were given.
I was going to explain how it works. There are three.
All right.
There are 6 in your group: 2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 engineers, sitting in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Which is ridiculous because there's no guns in the cockpit of the Millennium
No,
Falcon.
and I
Right?
jumped at the chance to be a gunner because I thought that's going to be fun, like
Yeah, you get
blowing
to-
tight. And no.
It's button mashing.
Yes.
It's just, and the buttons, like we were saying, I know you were going to explain more.
No, you go ahead.
The buttons are to your side unless you're in the pilot seat where things are in front of you. So half the time, what you're supposed to do is push the buttons when the buttons light up. Mm-hmm. Or when they say fire, you push the fire button, which is fun to sit here and go beep, 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 beep 100 times, and try and shoot something that you actually have no control
Yeah.
over whether you shoot it or not. But your attention is diverted over here while all the cool stuff and all the money is happening in front of you. And it's like, who designed a game where the point of the game is to distract you from the actual attraction or, the ride? So
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
I was a little disappointed too. I was an engineer, so I was all the way in the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pushing
yeah.
buttons and mad at
And
these kids. So
then you got all those people, and it's not like when you're in Star Tours and you. I'm sorry to
you're right.
step on your funny.
You're not.
It's not like where you're tiered and you can see in front of you. The people's chairs are right in front of you, basically,
have to lean in,
blocking the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are you turning your head, pushing meaningless buttons, missing the action, but there's also a seat right in front of you too that's a little hard to, look past.
Surprisingly, I think they could have done a little bit better with the design of Smuggler's Run. That being said, Rise of the Resistance is the coolest
Yeah, it
thing
makes
out
up
there.
for it.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
know.
Smuggler's Run was awesome because I'm going to say this because that single riders, you could go. It was like that.
Yeah.
That's
it was
awesome.
like
That's
not even
cool.
5 minutes. You went up, they pulled you in. I don't know if it was the time. I don't know if it was the day that we were there.
And I'm not saying it's not a fun, great ride. I'm just saying I think it's a poor design that, that you have stuff happening to the sides when the fun is in the front. I'd rather, honestly, just sit and experience,
what's going on the whole
watch
time.
what's
Be
going
a
on.
passenger,
Like
be
but
Obi-Wan.
then it'd be just Star Tours. So now this is like Star Tours with buttons.
Be Obi-Wan
basically.
and Luke.
Yeah. One last
So-
thing I was just going to say about kind of Disney, at least, to kind of sort of bring a close to that part of this, is just that if you have Disney Plus, there's a series on there. What is it called? Imagineering? Imagineering. And
The Imagineering story.
Oh, okay. The Imagineering story. Have you watched it, Frank?
I have not. It's in my queue. It's one of the first things I want to watch.
Frank? Not Frank. Rick. I looked at Rick.
Yeah, I
Rick,
watched it.
You watched it?
Yeah?
That's
It's-
The whole season?
No, I watched the Star Wars one.
Oh, we're not up there yet.
Yeah,
so
we're
we
on the
started
Star
at
Wars
the
one, yeah.
beginning, right after we came back from the trip, which was kind of nice because now we can connect it more with everything. But it's so great, and to watch the passion and the creativity and the inspiration that went into the park from the very beginning. It's just great.
Full
So,
of archival footage, like really great old footage of
It's wonderful.
park
But
being built and
we're excited to get to the new stuff, but we figured we'd start and just kind of take our time.
Sure.
getting
My
there.
grandma was one of the first people invited to go to Disneyland.
Now, what's
Yeah.
that
First opened it
connection?
for she just had a lot of connections. She was shipped off to boarding school in Colorado and just knew a lot of people. And she was invited by, I want to say, one of the heiresses of the Maytag family, invited her to go.
Really?
Yeah, and she went to the grand opening of Disney when it first opened.
That's
Grand
incredible.
opening day.
so where's all this juice now?
That's phenomenal. Wow.
Grandma, give me
You better
a...
ask your grandma to get you on the Rise of the Resistance.
Grandma, forget the cookies. I want Rise of the Resistance.
Really.
Anyways, it's I have a love-hate thing with Disney. It's about 60-40
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man,
one way.
That's a...
But it ended on a very positive note, mainly thanks to Haley and the
Yeah.
fact that she got us on the
That's
ride.
really cool.
Yeah, it was really one cast member can change your whole.
That was the
Your
fun
whole
part.
trip.
That was the fun part of being a cast member is that you did have that wiggle room where you could
awesome.
make that extra
Yeah,
stuff happen.
that's what I told Patty. I'm like, I bet they all can they can all do kind of things for people, if they want to, maybe
to keep you happy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Disney. Whee!
I'll wait until Marvel Land opens.
It's coming.
I know.
It's
Did you
coming.
see the animatronic Spider-Man that
Oh my God.
flies across the air?
It's
no.
incredible. Look it up.
The Universal Nintendo Land in Japan this summer.
Oh.
Coming to Universal,
hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully it's open by the time I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's not open.
Well, no, it's opening for the Olympics, but I'll be there in May. So I'm fingers crossed it'll be open by the time I'm there. I'll get my
I thought I heard somebody talking about. Do they have a Mario Kart course?
They haven't announced everything yet, but it's Nintendo, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, how do you not be?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Wow. We're 30 deep into this thing. What?
I mean, you thought the Nintendo Wii was was invented. What are they gonna do there?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be incredible
We got a lot of field trips in our future, guys.
for sure.
All right.
Should we move on to the Another topic now. Now that we're out of Disney.
We bypassed a lot because we
Yeah.
jumped right into that
We
Disney
jumped right into
business.
Disney
But
thing.
we did run around everything.
But
Did
we can jump into our
We did
topic
cut
and we
lines.
can
Yeah.
save some of the other stuff for maybe.
right on. Yeah, we had lots to talk about this time because
Well,
of.
before Disney, we were all hooked on games. That's why we came up with this
Yes,
topic.
it is.
We
And
were
we
all
still-
having like mini game nights at each other's houses.
We brought
and-
games with us
Yeah.
to do in our hotel room.
Oh, did you? So after our episode with Ross about games, it seemed like we were all
We did games.
we
before
were
that.
into
We did.
games, but not into games.
Yes.
And now it seems like we have each kind of found our own little
For sure.
It
niche
was-
of what we like.
It was a very gamey Christmas.
Yes. And we don't mean deer.
Yeah, no. Many games were bought and had
Many.
and enjoyed.
Many.
And some not so enjoyed. So
Yeah.
who wants to start? Rick, what's up? You got a stack there.
Yeah, because they go together. So I've been stuck on these forbidden games. Well, I shouldn't say it, my whole family. So Ross was telling us about the games that are cooperative, and you can speak more to that because you're more of an expert than I am. But I have the Forbidden series. So we start with Forbidden Island, where you work together to collect 4 treasures and then all escape off of a sinking island. Now, once you've escaped Forbidden Island, you then crash in Forbidden Desert.
That's my favorite.
And it is set up where you can go from one to the next. Like
Oh, I didn't know.
the
that.
little helicopter from here is one of the tiles here that crashes in the desert. So in the desert, you have to find, is it 4 different pieces?
Yeah, and
4 different pieces of the ship and build the ship and then fly off.
it's really neat because
Forbidden
the map changes and recedes as the game's playing along. So
And
it's,
sand piles up. So in this one, the tiles sink and your board
Disappear,
shrinks. This one, the board constantly moves and shifts.
yeah,
So things are in
Shifting
different.
sands.
And then
it's pretty neat.
this game,
Oh,
I haven't played this one yet.
this is a new one then.
this is Forbidden Sky.
Wow.
So once you fly off of Forbidden Desert, you go into Forbidden Sky. This is a challenging game, but it is fun. We've played it 8 times. We've won once.
Whoa.
So not only do you build your platform, which is kind of like a puzzle, but then you also have to build certain components. So depending on the level that you want, you have to have certain size circuits and a launch pad, and then you have to connect them with wires in a series circuit. And then once you do that, then your rocket ship can launch. And it actually has a rocket ship in here that
Lights up.
lights up and launches. There are so many ways to die in this game.
I saw your post on Facebook and I was
Yes.
dying. I had to look it up after that. I was like, oh my god.
There are so many ways to die. You can get blown off the platform. You can lose rope. You can lose electricity. Because anytime you connect anything and lightning strikes, you lose life. So if you don't have a medic or if you don't have a rope smith, then you're done in this game.
Ropesmith.
Yes. so anyway, these games are super, super fun. But they are definitely more challenging as you get up. This one is great. And what's nice about this one is once you get into the game, it's a pretty quick game. You guys have played it with us before.
Yeah,
so-
we had a
Yeah,
lot of
we
fun
played
playing
that
that.
one, yeah.
And it
then
scales really
Forbidden
nice
Island.
too,
Yeah.
difficulty-wise, yeah. It's
And
really
then this one's a little bit more challenging, but doable. And
So
then
they're-
Forbidden Sky is
They're intended that way, that they kind of graduate. Huh.
because each one amps up the complexity a little bit more.
I noticed they
Yeah.
ditched the 10 on the last one.
I
Right,
know.
I saw that too. But let me ask you this: does it say that on the cover? Is like you should play this first?
No, not necessarily, but it says that you can go in succession, like, you know.
Okay.
I really haven't. I've gone through the directions, but I found going on YouTube and finding people that play through or people that
Right,
explain.
they explain it better. Then I got
It helps
you.
me
That makes
understand the
sense.
game a lot
for
better,
sure.
so.
For sure,
Yep.
that makes
There's
sense.
been a few. I can't remember the website that I went to, but the one with Josh Wheaton,
Table something.
Will Wheaton. That's it, not Josh.
Will Wheaton.
Josh is.
Tabletop.
I was thinking of the
tabletop.
Joss
Those
Whedon.
Geek and
table.
Sundry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Geek and Sundries. Yeah.
Yes.
They played it.
Yeah, they don't
You
like-
know, and they have some good stuff to say about that. So.
Yeah, tabletop. Yeah, it's-
But yeah, we've been stuck on these co-op games. I'll let you guys talk about the other one that I think we all kind of
Oh yes.
is
Well,
probably our fave.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to know when can we play next. Horrified is the game of the year for me, for several of us, I believe. I can't say enough about this.
No.
It can be challenging, but you can also decrease the challenge a little bit depending on how many monsters are in play. It's only up to 5 players. I wish you could play a few more because I think 5's somewhat limiting, but that's the only
I think it would
negative.
get a little confusing
Do you think?
with more.
I don't know. It just seems like 5's an odd number for a game.
That's a lot of pieces and things on the board,
But other than that, I mean, you can play one person. You can sit and play. Didn't you say, Madison?
My daughter played she wanted to play by herself, and she played by herself, and she loved it.
So that's a cool
So it was
feature
fun.
for it.
That's awesome.
If you love the Universal classic monsters, if you love horror, this is just
If you like games,
if you like cooperative games, hey, we've got a game for you. I cannot say enough about it. It's just so immersive. All the little details about each of the characters in it, and then the townspeople that you're trying to save, and you have to work collaboratively with your group on who's going to make this move and what would be the smartest thing to do right now and what would benefit everybody, because if the terror meter goes up, you're all doomed. And it's a great game. It's different every time because you can select the monsters you play with. Right now, I think we have played with all of them. We just haven't played with all of them at the same time.
right?
But we have played with all of them. I think we would agree that Invisible Man is our least favorite because he steals things and that ruins the game. Fun to play with the monster and his bride because it's like double the fun. But it's just really great. If this is your thing, I would say check this game out. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We picked it up at Target, I think, right? Yeah, so you can pretty much get it anywhere. But yeah.
It's great. And you can play it, in an hour, I think, maybe-ish,
Yeah,
when
it's
you're
about
done.
an hour.
About an hour.
It's
But-
kind of
because you only have
cluey.
limited rounds. Because once you run out of cards,
Yeah, once you run out of cards,
you're
Right.
you're done.
it can't go on all night, like
Right.
like some things. So yeah, and it's got a sort of a clue,
A little bit of that.
vibe to it. And,
I'd like to see some expansions after, maybe throw in some other monsters, some other types of villains. I think that would be a way to extend the game, but otherwise, this is a definite fave. We've taken it now on a trip too, and just like to have it around because it's just fun.
Have you played?
Like a new
Sorry,
family
Rick.
member.
No, but
No, I haven't.
You haven't tried it.
No, I have not. I've I'll be honest in that I haven't played a lot of board games recently. My big board game group kind of fell out in the last few years. So while I've played a lot in the past and have my massive collection, I still play here and there online. I haven't played
You're not up on the recent games.
not to the infamous degree of today.
you'll have to join our group, Ross.
We've got a game for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right on.
I have not. But it looks really interesting. And I mean, there's so many. That was interesting. Was there's kind of lull in horror games for a while. I mean, it started with kind of like Betrayal, and then there was, and I think that one kind of kicked off the whole entire horror game genre. And then Dead of Winter is another really great cooperative one, which I think you guys.
I've heard of that one.
It's very zombie, but it is one of my favorites because it's one where everything can hits 0-60 really quick, and you have very intense decisions to make. Like it'll be, and there's a lot of storytelling in it. So like some cards will be like, you enter into a building and you find a relative who's a zombie. Like, what do you do in said instance? And like kind of there's some role playing elements to it. So it's a really interesting kind of game. But it's one of my more favorite recent like horror games.
And what's the title?
Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter.
What was that one title that we talked about? It was another horror game. We talked about it probably about 2 episodes ago. You remember we talked about?
Yes, I wrote it down. I'll look for it.
I really wanted to look for it, but I couldn't remember it. I was actually out the other day at Target, and I didn't know that would be a spot for it if I'd have to get it online.
I think Betrayal's still like my top of all of them. I like the Eldritch Horror games too. I fantasy play. There's some really good ones, but
Yeah, the game we were talking about, it was like you would be, you'd play as the murderer or the slasher?
It was
like a slasher game.
Oh, that's the one.
Was it Dax telling them?
Yeah.
Yes,
talked
Dax
about
was
that one.
telling us about it.
Okay.
Mixtape Massacre.
That's what it was.
Yes.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. I was wondering if you knew anything about that because
The
it
80s.
looked really
about
awesome.
that, yeah,
It was like an
yeah.
80s slasher. I think I brought it up to you
You
at
told
one
me, yeah,
point in
yeah.
time.
I thought Dax said you had to get it online.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah. So
Yes.
fruitless adventure for me.
Because shortly after that, I started getting ads
say.
on my
Shout out to Dax.
Yeah.
social media. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
Yes.
introducing us
Thanks,
to
Dax.
more horror games.
And that is one that I do want to revisit and maybe check out.
For sure.
some really great ones though.
But right now, Horrified is at the top. Villainous would be another fun
Yeah, that was
second
really good too.
game that I'd like to play a little more frequently. It's like we got on a kick with Horrified, which is great, and it's still my favorite. But I want to keep up with Villainous because I feel like with some of these games, if you don't play them often
You
enough,
forget.
Yeah,
you
you
forget,
forget.
and they're
Right.
complicated.
Yeah.
This isn't
You
just
gotta read the book again.
checkers.
It's very
Yeah.
true. I can't even imagine what this guy's got to read every time.
Well, and then one that I would say
Well, yeah.
that I was kind of disappointed with a little bit so far was the Funkoverse games. You guys know, if you've been listening or watching for a while, that I'm a huge Funko Pop collector. So when they came out with a game, I was super stoked. Christmas was wonderful, lots of games, got this one, excited to sit down and play it. The rules were mind-boggling. We tried, the three of us, one night, and I don't know, it just...
It wasn't fun.
It wasn't
We
fun. It
literally
didn't-
bought these for our nephews.
Yeah.
Like, we bought two of them. We bought there was a Batman one and there was this one.
The 2-player or
It was the two-player. It was
Okay.
the two-player. So there was the other Harry Potter one. So I was going to
Yeah.
ask you guys but they had a hard time. My wife and my one nephew were playing because he wanted to play immediately, of course, and they were just having the hardest time with the rules. And I think they eventually
It's
just
a
gave
little
up. They're like,
convoluted.
they're like, we can't do this.
We tried watching videos even, and it's like, I don't know what more. I shouldn't have to study up to play a game.
I agree with you 1,000%
It's
on
not
that.
D&D.
Yes.
And hey, and I got my head around a little bit of D&D, so if I could
Well,
do
that
that.
wasn't real D&D.
Well, hey now, it was beginner.
That was
was
the
basic,
That
uh,
was the gateway.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you've tried it yet.
No, we
The
haven't.
Funkoverse, you have.
Because we've been stuck on. I mean,
Horrified.
well, I shouldn't say stuck because, like you said, we really love it.
We're
and,
having a great time with
We've
it.
been-
Right.
like when we've been doing our game nights, we usually pick one of the forbidden ones, and then we usually end up with Horrified. I mean, I like this game so much, I actually bought those card protectors and put the cards.
Oh my God, Rick.
Wow.
Hey, I
What's
want,
the game?
I want the game
Hey,
to last as
I got
long as
nothing
we
against
can.
The
it. I got
artwork
nothing
is
against it.
incredible. The artwork is absolutely
I'm just saying, that's
incredible.
something new. That's a new level for you for a game.
I know,
like
yeah.
this.
It's the only one I did it with. So
Wow.
Well,
That
you'll
tells
have,
you something.
You'll have to let us know, though, when you do eventually try your Funkoverse, what you think. Because I'm glad to know that we weren't the only
Well,
ones.
we bought it for them, so I don't know when I ever
Yeah,
get
but
to it.
I-
hopefully they'll bring it
Celia's
over.
played a lot of games, so I know
Yeah.
she's got that gamer's mind.
For sure.
And so that makes me feel better because we were just frustrated.
Yeah, they were very lost in it too. And
Well, there's a bunch of different ways you can play. You can play capture the flag, or you can play, I think there's about 4 or 5
4
different
different types.
scenarios. So it's like right now, right there, you've almost made it like difficult to play because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, here's the game. Which one do you want to do? So now you have to make a choice of, all right, let's do capture the flag, and then it's like the only thing, like when you get up next to the other pop and you interact with them, you knock them down or something like that,
Yeah,
and
but then they
they
can
take
get
a
right
turn to
back
get
up.
back up, and it's like it just seems silly, like just an excuse to put your toy into a game. Which I guess what more would you really expect?
That's what I was saying.
I had
It seems
higher
like that.
hopes.
Well, you'd think with a name like Funko and the licensing and that they'd Ross is hemming and
I mean, again, look at like anytime there's a branded any type of game though. Like look at Monopoly.
yeah.
It's all the adjusted rules and everything for it and over time. Or I mean, anytime there's other ones like I feel like even a lot of like the Disney games, like I think Villainous was an exception
Right.
to it, but a lot of Disney ones are just like pumped out board games. And they're like half of them are not that great, but they're made as a marketing material to sell.
Right.
And
Right.
they're not hiring great designers. And I mean, there are a few where they've kind of, handed off to a more well-known game manufacturer.
Well, that's what they did with Villainous, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that Raven's Loft or whatever?
Ravensburger, I think, or it might be Ravensloft. But then
Raven something.
Even with the Star Wars ones, they handed off to Fantasy Flight, who was
Right.
like a
Right. People who know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think with Funko, they kind of tried to do it in-house, and it probably didn't hire great designers, and
Yeah.
also hard trying to cram multiple rules in one game. I
Yeah.
haven't tried it, but I would assume it would just...
So I'd be curious for our viewers and listeners if you guys have tried the Funkoverse games and if you have had a different experience or a similar one and you'd like to share. Maybe you have some suggestions on how we can, get better gameplay out of it. Because otherwise, I don't know what we're going to do with it. I'm kind of bummed
Put it
out.
on your shelf.
You
rest
take
of
the
your
pops out and
Take my pops and then just have like this discarded game.
It's like the smaller sodas.
yeah, yeah. That's it's too bad. But one winner, one stinker. Unless you know what, maybe there's something we don't know about the Funko game, and we're playing it wrong, or we misunderstood something, and somebody will comment and say, "Hey, no, this game rocks. Try this or something."
That'd be great to hear. I'd love to hear
Otherwise,
a different review of it.
so I'm curious about what's this on the
so
table.
This is an older game.
Ross has brought.
It's one of my favorites, and I think one of the biggest things that newer trends in board games, and not, I don't think just in board games, but in gaming in general, is there's been more of this kind of trend of moving into the RPG element. And the last time I was here, I talked a lot about D&D.
RPGM?
Element. No,
RPG element.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Mice and Mystics was one of the first games that Platinum Hat Games came out with, and it is one of my favorites. So when I was a kid, I was really into the Redwall series. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that book series.
Yes.
Yeah, right? It's great.
Yes.
Little mouse with a sword,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right. Oh, it's such great book series. Like I remember that when I was a kid, and it was fantastic. Like I loved reading it. And so it's very similar to that, where you're playing as little mice and you're on like this grand adventure. And so one of the things I really like in board games is a serial, or it tells like a campaign tale. And so this game, you're playing as mice and you're going on this grand adventure, and it's very fantasy oriented. Rules are kind of hit or miss at times. There's a bit, every chapter adds new rules, so it gets a little bit convoluted. But miniatures are absolutely out of this world. I guess you can't really.
The cover art.
Yeah, you can hold them up.
Cover art.
They're really, really, really cute. But then it also has like interlocking map boards and everything. But my favorite thing is that even though it is, these are really cute, right? They're amazing, like little rats. And like,
These aren't painted yet, Ross. Come on.
I don't paint my
Yeah, he will
miniatures.
not paint the miniatures.
See,
I'm weird like that.
I'm still gonna paint the horrified ones.
Like also look like there's little cockroaches and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
like it's
look at
great. The centipedes.
If you're just listening at home,
But it's a fantastic game, and my favorite thing
those
is
are detail,
that
man.
Yeah, they
It's
solid too.
I mean, it recommends from ages 7 and up, so you can really play it with younger kids, and kind of assist them as it's going along. It's
Sorry, crumpling this bag.
Bag crumpling.
In front of the microphone.
Enjoy the crumpling.
it's but one of my favorite things about this game is that it's very geared toward essentially setting up kids to have them go through a story while running through a game, and it's set up in this really cute world, and it has that grand adventure feeling, and it plays through a campaign. But I thought it was a really interesting one to share because it's not really talked about too much anymore.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, it came out in 2013, but it's by far one of my favorites, and I absolutely love this game.
Wow.
I can't talk enough regard about
Let
it.
me ask you this: Is it still available? Do you see it? Is it common to see this?
It is
game
still
anymore?
available. It's one of those where you would probably have to go to a game shop to get it or order it online. It's not available at Target, I don't believe.
Right.
But it is absolutely, I would highly recommend it, especially if you have a younger get a home, you want to get them into like more of a, like introduce them into some RPG elements or having that kind of storytelling gameplay. Because it is like 7-Up, you know, and it's...
There's several of them.
Yeah. Oh, so those are most of those
Amazon?
are expansions.
Okay, expansion packs, yeah.
And
There are cheese tokens.
Have we
that.
even said the name of this game?
What?
Have we said the name of this game?
I'm sorry. It's Mice and Mystics.
Thank you. If you're just listening.
In case you're not watching.
Yeah, sorry.
I see it on
I
Amazon.
was going to say, Amazon has the core set right now for $54.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at.
So $20 cheaper than what they usually have it.
Would you put it in your cart? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's on sale right now, coincidentally.
It's really
Well,
cool.
you know, it looks really cool. Looks like there's a lot of neat elements inside. I mean, pieces and boards and
I see the little tokens and stuff as well.
Tokens
Like a neat.
cheese
It's just
tokens.
so, in my opinion, like it's such a great package of a game, and I think where everything is going into with board games right now, and well, I haven't played a lot of current games coming out, and I've been more focused on like D&D and some of the more RPGs. I think more games are starting to have more of those RPG elements or story elements, and those are the games I more enjoy because after you finish like a campaign of like Mice Mystics or D&D, you walk away more unified as a group. The same thing with like I think with like the co-op games, you have that feeling walking away, you're like, wow, we accomplished something.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh haha, I beat all of you.
Yeah.
You like if you walk away
Yes.
feeling accomplished, or like you as a team grew together and like, oh yeah, we did something today.
Right.
You know, and it's those opportunities where I think in these games where it helps the group come closer rather than bickering and finally.
I like
That's
it.
Time you
beautiful.
stole that from me.
Like Munchkin when sometimes, because you can get downright dirty in Munchkin sometimes. I know
Don't
you're
get on
you're not a
Munchkin
Mun-
with Ross.
I know you're not a Munchkin fan.
And
That's the fun of it.
You can get some. Woo.
and the unicorn, that game.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
nasty,
stable
too.
unicorns. We can tiny stable you.
I was gonna ask what kind of a time commit. I mean, if you're talking about 7-year-old kids, you couldn't subject a 7-year-old kid to a game of D&D. So what are you talking about?
So there's several sessions in there. I forget how many sessions there are within the game, but each one is about, it says 60, 90 minutes. Honestly, sometimes it lasts up to 2 hours, especially adding the different rules onto there. But there's a lot of story elements. So like it'll tell you to sit down and you'll read maybe 2 or 3 pages. So you can sit down with your kids and introduce like this is where the story's at, and like you can get into your narrative voice and go into the story, and it introduces you to like, hey, here's where the characters are at. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing on the adventure. And then when you're introducing new characters, it'll have little descriptors. And so I think that's where it gets really interesting, where you bring this narrative piece in, and it gets. I don't know. I always love those different elements where you can get those. Have that narrative being told.
It sounds like a storybook, but in a game
Yeah.
form, kind of. So that's a cool
I
idea.
like it.
That's really
You
intriguing.
put that in your cart, right?
I have to just say, Ross, just to piggyback off of your love of mice, especially sword-wielding mice.
Sword wielding mice.
There's a PlayStation VR game called Moss. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Have you played it?
I have not.
We have it.
It is wonderful.
It's beautiful
Yeah.
and adorable and exciting and all of those elements.
It looks like something like
The,
right out of here.
The
like-
lead little mouse
Yeah.
looks like that guy right there. So
Yeah.
you'll have to try it.
I have to, yeah, because I've never dived into the VR as much as I like PC gaming. I've never dived into.
It's
This
fun.
this is a dungeon crawl that you're in.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
talking to somebody that's paranoid about VR that has VR.
The only thing I don't like about VR is
There
the when you put the phone up to your head. I'm like, I'm not wearing a phone on my head for
okay.
2 hours to play.
yes. But I had to bring that up. So
Yeah, no, but the VR, it's addicting for sure. But this Moss game, it was the first game we got, and it looks just like this. It's a lot of fun. So is there like a game master, like a DM kind of a
Not
thing?
really. So that's the thing I like about it. Is
So
that
everybody
where
reads?
other games, it's like one person's kind of controlling everything. This game has a kind of a built-in AI where creatures will kind of move their own regard based around movesets. So it's not like one person versus everyone else. So that's why I think it works really well as like a family game where it's not just hi kids, Dad's gonna play against you today. Like,
I'm gonna destroy you.
exactly. It's the you're playing against the game because the game has its own built-in AI, which does kind of add to the complexity a little bit. But I think parents, it's very approachable, and the cards kind of tell you what to do and where things are going to get placed. And I think it. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and while I haven't played it with kids, I can see it being very approachable for most kids, especially young. And I've seen it being recommended quite often.
Yeah.
We could try it with Madison and James. I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah,
I like how it
James
says.
James and Mark would be good on that.
Oh yes.
So if you don't want to read this, it says stop. We have videos. You can.
So
Which are always helpful.
So that's the one awesome thing. So Flat Hat Games, they're one of the only game companies that literally pays for all of their games to have a video
playthrough.
and they'll literally go through the whole entire rule set with you. The only downside about this game is that every new story has additional rules that it doesn't explain to you.
Oh, okay.
So it gives
But
you the
it
very
gives you
big
the
core.
the basics of gameplay. We've been doing that a lot lately, man. It's like they don't even need to put books with games anymore. I mean, well, I guess there are people with no internet, but it really makes a lot more sense in my mind to watch people play the game and explain it as they go. And we've done that. What's the one we just got? Another horror game, Creepy.
It's called Campy Creatures, and we haven't actually played it yet, but I think by the next podcast we'll have some feedback. I think it's one that you're going to like, too, just from the looks of it.
Great
I'll show it
artwork.
to you. Yeah, the artwork alone, and that's what I'd read online, was some people said with this one, is it's a card game, they said that they bought it strictly just for the art. And then other people were like, oh, it's great art, but it's also just a real fun game it's like a, I don't know, maybe a simplified Horrified, so to speak. Well, no, because you're a bad guy.
It's
kinda.
a deck. I think it's kind of more of a deck building thing.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. We're not like super experienced gamers, but it's a fun one. And we haven't played it, but
There's
I've
an
watched.
expansion pack for it.
I've watched like
Videos.
4 different groups play it, so it looks fun. But I think I know how to play it now because I've watched everybody play it.
All right.
So
Very cool.
Frank brought a game. What's this?
This is not a game.
This is something you got at the
Something I
park,
got
right?
at Disney.
Oh, back to Disney?
More
to
Disney.
Disney.
Coming full
Boy.
circle. We're bringing it home now.
See, this is probably a way I could probably get into that cantina.
What is that?
These are
I'm going to play Savak.
Oh.
these are your ranking for the resistance.
Oh, they're like
So I'm saying I could probably take one of these. And it's interchangeable. Like there are all these metal plates and they're magnetic. And sorry guys, I'm opening this and I should have thought this through more.
we have little plastic sounds on this. Oh, so that's magnetized.
So they're
you put
different
one
ranks,
side.
and it
Okay.
says on the back what the ranks are. So they have like general, colonel, like major, captain, lieutenant, and
All right.
second lieutenant. But it's also this is for the naval one, and then this one's the army one.
Okay.
So it's really neat. That's what I'm saying though. Like I could put it on my lapel and just flash it, and maybe they'll let me into the cantina there.
Well, yeah, if you're an officer, then you certainly should.
But
That's
it does.
cool.
It was neat. I just saw it and I was like, it just looked pretty sharp, and I was seeing if it could go through here, and it sticks pretty well. So
Yeah,
You know?
that's the new thing
It's a little
now.
heavy.
The double magnet with all over the park. Everybody was wearing Baby Groot
oh yeah,
Or-
on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Or a
And I'm like, how is or a porg? I'm like, how are they
Or
doing
the
that? Well,
moon
he's got a
monkeys.
magnet in his ass, and then you put the other side under your shirt, and then he just stays on your shoulder. Or a monkey? I didn't see the monkey.
You didn't see the moon monkeys?
No.
That's funny.
Oh.
Salacious?
Yes, Salacious
moon
Crumbs.
monkey?
Those were cool. They were like little puppets.
Oh,
and
I saw
they
the
moved
puppets.
around, and
Oh, okay.
but it was the same thing. They would move around like that.
But you had a
Turn their
hand
head.
thing to control.
Yeah,
that.
it was like just
yeah,
like an air pump or something.
Yeah,
Some kind of
funny.
cool puppet.
that's cool.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought it was one of the cool things I saw there. And
There was a lot of cool stuff.
yeah, there was. I mean, but certain jackets and stuff were just outrageous. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to spend.
Oh yeah, they had a whole store just with Jedi robes and.
Yes, I didn't get to go in there.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't?
I ran past that after kids, but
Yeah.
I did see that. There was a lot of cool little stores there. I think I got that at what was it, the Black Outpost or something
Oh,
like
Black
that. It was like-
Spire.
Black Spire. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we had lunch. That was cool.
Yeah, right there by the Resistance.
Isn't
round.
that where the animatronic hammerhead is?
Oh yeah, he is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
pretty,
see him.
Pretty
You
sweet.
didn't?
You guys,
Oh, you could
I'll
get
have to give
right
you the
up
comics
close to
because
him.
he's a cool character in the comic book.
really?
Yeah, there's
See,
a-
it would have been fun to read the comics before going. And
He's
then,
he's pretty well connected in the Star Wars universe.
Really?
He's met up with a lot of different people. It was a good story.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anything earth shattering, but it was fun to read.
yeah, I
The
was
whole
like,
Galaxy Edge. What's it called? No, the miniseries.
yeah,
That's cool. We'll have a lot of photos to
yeah.
share.
Oh yeah, we've got photos. I mean, you could get right up close to this hammerhead dude. He was right there. This was my. I was going to say this was my one purchase. My
your
big
Disney
purchase from
purchase?
If
Disney.
you're just
Oh, really? That was
from Disney?
listening,
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Looks like
Kinda
one of those
neat from
drawings.
Disney, yeah.
it's if you can't see, it's a like wooden toy puppet doll thing. It's Boba Fett. It was available only at the Toydarian
Does he
Toy
col-
Maker.
It's,
Does he collapse? Or
No,
does he...
it's not one of those things where you push the
so
bottom.
it is.
and
It
he-
is
So
like
it is
one of
it's
those.
just a
It's just a like a
Yes.
wood. It's
like
a what?
a wood postable mannequin.
Oh, mannequin. Yeah.
Like they sell those, like at IKEA for drawing and.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, like a
Things
figure.
that I have in my studio.
Yes.
They had stormtroopers. I think Vader.
Like,
really
yeah,
neat.
that's
That's
cool.
And
really
Boba
neat.
Fett. Yeah, I'm like, it was $20, but it's pretty cool. So
that's really cool.
it'll be. I think I'm gonna come back and bring the Daily Fett back this Friday, and
Uh-oh.
I'll have him in there. Whee! So,
Bobinocchio.
so yeah.
Strength so you can see.
What happened when he lands? He's wearing a helmet.
Oh my gosh. The rocket just
The rocket just extends.
Oh yeah.
How
His
does he
rocket
land?
extends when he lies. That's
Bobinocchio.
Jeez.
And he was kind of swallowed by a whale.
Yeah. Sarlacc pit.
That's true.
oh, you got a
Speaking
great
of which-
picture. Oh,
Yeah, that's you're
Well played,
right.
Rick. Well played.
Yeah. In one of the shops there in Galaxy's Edge, they have a display case with the Sarlacc, a miniature of the Sarlacc,
Oh.
and it's like the tank is like about 4 feet, and the Sarlacc up at the top. They show it's like a miniature, just a couple inches about like coming above ground, and then they show what it looks like below ground, and it's like this huge.
monster.
Monstrous
Oh, it's
creature with a big fat
disgusting.
belly and like
It's
yeah, it's
disgusting.
cool.
Amazing.
In the miniseries, they tell you how he acquires that and
Really?
who brings that to him.
Oh, the hammerhead
Seriously?
guy.
Yeah.
You gotta read it.
Yeah.
You gotta
okay.
read it.
Yeah.
Now that you've been there, you
I was
gotta.
gonna say, now that you've been there, there's probably so many other little connections like that that
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh, that's really cool.
But that's the
yeah,
reason why
that's
you
neat.
gotta go, man.
Oh, I will eventually, but I'll wait until I can see Spider-Man fly across the sky.
I am pretty excited for that too.
Maybe by then, people will want to see Marvel Land, and I'll be able to get into Star Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
Maybe.
doubt it though, because that's still, I think, probably everyone's focus is
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Well, look, how long has Cars Land been open? Like 5, 6 years now? And that's still,
It's cool.
It's
I mean,
still crazy.
I love Carland.
that ride
Crazy
is
long
still
waits.
one that sells out of, or not sells out, but runs out of fast passes, by midday and still has like an hour-long wait.
Right.
Because there's nothing else to do in Cars Land.
Well,
honestly,
there are. It's
other
just
than
those
There
other
are other
ones.
things to do in DCA.
yeah, but once you've yeah,
There are other things to do in DCA, but people
DCA.
get
That's what
passes
the-
for Radiator Spring.
they call
You're
Disney
gonna-
California Adventures.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're,
Oh, I didn't know.
we're
it
not
was
familiar with the lingo.
Disney nerd
Yeah,
here.
it's all good.
So, but that's the same thing with Galaxy's Edge. There's virtually nothing else to do. Smuggler's Run is fun a time or two, but then you got to get on Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
think-
you're just walking around and shopping and.
Galaxy's Edge needs to put in a smaller, more accessible attraction.
I'm
Something that like
Yeah,
even
to
younger
co-
kids
yeah.
can do. Just
I'm
something
sure
you
it's
can
gonna
get
there.
on and off of and will keep people moving because otherwise it starts to get a little
Go out the way of the poo ride.
yeah.
Oh, that ride. Oh.
And just
No, we
like,
did. That was one of the first ones
just-
we
oh,
did.
head out.
Not my choice.
Oh, it's
That is the
awesome.
most disturbing ride
it's
I've
awesome.
ever
It's
been
so
on.
cute.
It's
It's
amazing.
No, who
phenomenal.
was on drugs when they did that ride?
Who well,
'Cause,
never mind.
oh my gosh.
I want to meet them.
Awesome.
Oh.
And it lets
it's
you
better
out.
if you're on drugs when you're on it.
I don't think I'll be on
We're
that
not
ever.
endorsing the use
VTS
of
does
drugs
not
on
endorse drugs.
VTS.
No, and I don't endorse the Winnie the Pooh ride either.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, it's virtual drug. It's LSD.
And there's
We did it.
never a line
Right,
there,
yeah.
and it's amazing.
Gee, I wonder why.
It was one of the first ones we did, and it was a blast. Love it. Do it every time.
Was old.
Well,
All right. Since we're still on Star Wars, can we talk about some toys?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that new Baby Yoda toy that's from Sideshow Collectibles?
Oh, the one that you
Size that's
sent us?
$350.
Yes.
It's insane.
They're gonna sell out of them instantly.
I
They
pre-ordered the
crashed-
black ones, the Black Series one.
I did that immediately, but
Yeah.
Did you see how big that figure is? the
Black Series? I know it's small, but
It's life size. I know. Or, well, scaled size.
Scale.
scale
Yeah.
size. So,
Well, it has to be, but it's like
well, that the Sideshow is actually the size of Baby Yoda, and so like
it's life size, right?
it's life size. It's the size of Baby Yoda.
So
is,
did you
and I'm just-
pre-order it?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh, you
It's
can't.
they have a payment plan.
They have a payment plan.
They do.
I have a Sideshow membership.
I don't
if you-
know. For photography, I think it would be really cool.
Well,
Since I
then
go
if
hiking
you
so
can-
much, I think that would be amazing to take that on all the places I
You're
go.
going to have 2 Baby Yodas that are
I,
real.
I know that.
You already have. I shouldn't say you're going to.
I know that.
have.
And you don't think I'm going to take pictures with them? And
Well, I'm
Baby
sure you
Yoda
will.
too?
Yeah. Look,
Like, I think that would be amazing.
If you can justify buying it for taking some cute pictures with your kids, I think you got the green
That's the
light.
reason.
think
That's,
so.
You got
that's
the-
kind of what's behind it.
You got
It's
the
like-
green light.
That's kind of my plan behind it. I don't have the green light yet. The green light comes from my wife.
I gave you the green light.
I think
A
it's more
lot
of an
of
orange
Baby
light right now.
Yoda merchandise, but no toys or figures.
Well, a lot of shirts,
a
basically.
lot of shirts, a lot of cups, mugs, those
Oh,
kinds
yeah,
of
yeah,
things.
yeah, that
you know,
kind of
like
stuff.
They're going to
That
Baby
stuff.
Yoda you to death until.
No, it's gonna be.
Yep. But speaking of toys, did you see that it is pretty much confirmed that Hasbro is finally doing a 6-inch line of G.I. Joes?
Oh,
did
no.
see
That,
that.
The first
I
wave
did
was
see that.
announced. Yep.
Really?
that had to make Rick's day.
Yeah, but now I gotta figure out what I'm not going to collect so I can collect those.
You have to get rid of your... Don't you have some Star Wars Black Series?
Yeah, but I only have a few characters.
Just
I don't have
your
that
choice,
Many. Yeah, I only have a couple that I've chosen to get, so
Okay.
that's not that big of a
So
deal.
you don't have to unload that collection.
No. It's only one shelf.
April, May is going to see an ungodly amount of Baby
Yep.
Yoda, the child stuff come out.
Child.
just in time for Mother's Day. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See that?
Don't hold your breath.
So,
Funny.
other cool stuff coming up, right? Are we? I guess we'll be done with games. Everybody.
Oh yeah, what did?
The latest innovation
those
from
are-
Lego minifigs.
Now, did these just hit the
Yeah,
shelves?
this is the latest series of the Lego minifigures blind bags. So this is the DC superheroes, and this is the first series where they've done minifigure action stands.
So yeah, I was gonna say what's
There's like a little clear.
There's a tiny little clear piece, yeah.
There's a peg.
holding
It's a
him
little
up.
peg.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these pieces are, normal pieces, and then they have this little tilted peg that you can...
And is that going to come with every minifig now?
It comes with every... Oh, I don't know if it'll
the
come with every
DC.
series.
At least all that DC.
But it came with every DC one, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it in all the Star Wars and superhero ones.
Yeah.
Just,
I could see
I
that.
could.
So
I
it's
could
nice
totally
because
see
you
that.
can make them look like they're flying.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Flash actually looks like he's running.
Yeah. That was a
I know, they're not just going to be...
pretty cool little invention they thought of.
Yeah,
I
I know.
hardly
Someone had that idea.
Yeah.
But that's Lego though. They find like one little piece that like reinvents a lot.
A lot. Because now, can you imagine the customizations that people are going to do with this one little tiny
yeah.
piece? They're going to have all kind of... I mean, you're going to see it used in ways that you're like, what? I didn't think of that. That's
Like
so
the
that's really cool.
Like that-
robes and different things. I'm just
Oh,
like, it's
yeah.
like, I'm like, wait a
The
second.
link that you sent us with all those people
Right.
using Lego
The
pieces
illegal-
in unconventional ways, I was like, "Whoa, man! People are
Yeah,
going nuts with Legos."
pretty
Just
creative.
think what they can do with that thing now.
Yep.
That one little tiny piece.
Yep.
Oh, it'll open up all kinds of new doors.
Super cool.
Yeah, those are awesome. So that's That's what you have so far? That's about half?
That's half, yeah. There's
You haven't found
16 in this series.
Haven't found us a Wonder Woman
This
yet.
is
No, I'll find you one, though. She'll be easy to find.
one shopping with Rick. He got half of all of the Legos.
What are
And
the...
no doubles.
No,
No
with no
doubles.
doubles.
You're the
with no
master.
doubles.
You are
master
blind
feeler.
bag.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mr. McFeely
Whoa,
over
whoa, whoa. You can't say that. He's a principal now.
So, oh God. Oh, what are the non-DC ones? Like the banana guy and what are the, aren't they? Or is the whole...
They're just regular minifigure blind bags. And then these are the licensed property minifigs that they do.
Okay.
So like they've done Harry Potter, they've done the 2 Disney
Okay,
series.
so those don't include wacky other
No,
off-topic ones. Okay, those are just the regular minis.
Right.
Okay.
And then Simpsons, they've done Harry Potter.
It's just Harry Potter, Disney,
And then the next, they just announced that they're doing Harry Potter series 2.
Then the Lego
What?
Batman.
Minifigs.
Why haven't they done a Star Wars series? Because they sell so many.
That's opening up a whole can
Yeah,
of worms.
yeah. I can't remember what the reason was. Somebody gave a reason once, and I can't remember.
Because you have to buy a whole set to get one Lego figure. Like what was that? What was that bounty?
Oh
hunter?
yeah.
You had to buy the whole.
Dengar?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Dengar. It was
Forlom.
Zuckus or Forlom.
Yeah.
One of those two. You had to buy the. You had to buy Boba Fett's ship. You
Yeah,
had
the
to buy Slave
$100
One.
Slave
Yes,
One just to get
just to
it.
get that. He's not sold anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yep.
it's the one, the one that you need. That's why, Rob. That's why. Because they wouldn't spend the $80.
Right on. I get it.
Too funny.
You got anything for us back there before we sign off for the night?
I'd like to talk about this guy right there.
No, I'm looking forward to playing some more games over the next couple weeks, and then maybe spilling into a part 2. Who knows?
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll touch this topic again.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You wanted to mention Lock and Keys coming up. I know you're excited about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And Frank's biting at the bit over here.
Oh yes. What are we
know
at?
that.
Just like a week away, right?
Yeah.
Or less than that. What is it?
It's pretty close.
February
I'm not
close.
paying attention to it
12th or
because
7th?
Oh,
I'm
you-
too excited.
He's
It's in a
avoiding
few-
all the
It's in a
advertisements.
few days. By the time this podcast airs,
It'll be on?
It'll either be on or like
Oh.
a day or 2 away.
I'm curious
In
what
fact,
it's going to be. I'm really curious.
This series is like one of my favorite series.
I
Rick's
know.
too, and
Yeah.
I showed Ross. He read it too, and
Oh, have you read it?
Yeah.
Ross said,
Oh,
yeah, I
yes.
let him borrow that
It
one.
was a series.
You didn't
Yeah.
like it?
It was okay.
It was good. It was something different.
February 7th.
Okay.
So it will
Yeah,
have
he says
already
okay.
aired the first episode by the
What?
time this.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Are they...
It was good. I think there was other things that I liked a little bit better of a different vein.
Yes.
I like the Junji Ito stuff a little bit more.
Yes.
But it's a lot darker than Lock and Key. I like that weirder.
Take your mouse game and go play.
You know what? Maybe I will.
Lock and Key. I love this series. And I can't wait. Like
I
don't
loved
know.
it.
I don't know
I
how they're
loved
gonna
it.
do.
You
I
guys
hope they
let
do
me
it
read
justice.
it.
Yeah, I hope they do it
do.
I'm the only one who
I
hasn't
did
read
too.
it.
I did too.
I guess I got to read it.
Like if they can do it like they did in those, if they can take that artwork and actually make it a reality, then I am
That would
all
be
in.
cool,
But
yeah.
Did you watch The Happy?
I did watch some of that.
Like if they do, because that comic series was great, and I think if they do have the dream sequences and stuff like that, I think it's gonna be, I don't know.
I hope they blow. I hope they surprise me. I don't have high, I have high hopes, but I don't have I don't know.
There's a few.
I've been let down in a few
Yeah.
comic transitions. That
He
I
saw the trailer, Robert, and I watched the trailer, and he had no idea of what.
I didn't know anything about it.
Because he's like,
Yeah.
"What was this in? Was this in the story?" And
I
I'm
thought
like, "Yes."
Well, yeah, I thought Lock and Key were 2 people. I don't know. Are they people?
Oh, okay.
No?
Well, no, it's the Locke family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea. I thought it was something totally different, but it looks really
I
cool.
can bring the books back for you, so you can
I may
read them.
have
they're,
to.
They're good.
I may
We'll
have
see.
to. But now I got to
then-
read Galaxy's Edge.
Frank, what did I send you a picture of the other day? What's coming back?
Which one? I don't remember.
The
You sent me a lot of
comic books.
picture. Oh yeah, the comic book's actually coming back. The series is
Really?
coming back.
Oh, Lock and Key.
Really?
Yes.
More?
It's been gone forever. It feels like.
Well, that one, but then the one I just sent you forgot already.
Hillbilly?
Your favorite? No.
Look, I have
The
2 babies
Boys,
right now,
I
so
know.
my
Oh, the
brain's
boys!
a little.
The
Yeah,
is
the boys are coming back.
Yeah.
The boys are
are
back in town.
Yeah, new comic series. It's going to take place 12 years after
I-
the original.
Interesting.
I am so stoked.
Yeah.
I love this series so much.
Oh, it's great.
Amazon did a good job, but the series is
The
even
books
more,
are better?
Yes. Well,
Huh.
I mean, Obviously, I mean that's usually the case, but
I don't know. I've only seen the show.
well, usually that's the case.
I
Usually
love
the
the
books are
show.
more better,
The
and
show was great.
but the show they did a great job with the show. But I mean, where the story goes with this one is two different things. Just like Walking Dead. Walking Dead show. I mean, obviously it petered out.
Well, yeah.
But
We're not.
That's a sore subject. We
Sorry
don't
about
can't
it.
have one episode of VTS without mentioning
That's the-
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The show that shall not be
Collective
named.
Lord have mercy.
But that. My point being is, I hope they do that justice.
Walking
Basically.
Dead.
Hey,
Oh,
is anyone watching The
Walking
Witcher?
Oh, the Witcher.
No, but I heard the song.
Okay.
I heard the song.
Now,
I can't wait to watch the series, but I've heard the song. Yeah.
My daughter told me, she's
Witcher.
back in the back. She said, if I mention The Witcher, you say The Witcher and I'll sing the
do your
song.
bit.
She's
No, she's
not
got
doing
a bit.
it.
Oh,
She's
man.
got a bit.
She's got a whole bit.
Why are
Yeah,
you
do your
watching?
bit.
Why are you watching?
Yeah.
What
Are you
watching
watching
it for?
Henry Cavill's pecs, obviously.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's a fun show.
That's right. And like in the games, the books, like it's a great world, and I'm really glad they're like they did it justice. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm really excited about because, and a lot of people were really concerned with it.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's a popular property.
yeah, it's a real. I mean, it's an interesting property, I think, but it is a very beloved one to a lot of people, especially how rich the world is. I think anytime there's a adaptation, people get
Antsy.
a little touchy with how the adaptation is going to be. But
Well, yeah, I heard people were kind of freaking about Henry. They didn't think he was the right man for the job.
But he is a huge PC gamer.
Oh, really?
He's
So he was
known
familiar
as
with
being-
it. Oh,
He's known for being a gigantic.
Superman plays video games?
He's a huge. And
He wanted
and
this
is-
role.
He is a
He did
very
want this
he went out of his way to say, hey, I want to do this role. I
wow.
want to play Gerald Rivia, and he is he's made it a big point that he loves playing video games. He's played all the Witcher series, 1 through 3, and he read up on the he read up on the books and everything. But it's
That's my Geralt impression. That's all he does through the whole show.
that's half of the games too.
Gotta
I
get
said
it.
it probably wasn't him.
Kind of
More
what Arnold
guttural.
did in the first
Dragging on
Conan.
him.
What?
I said it's kind of what Arnold did in the first Conan. He didn't have many lines, he was just
True. True.
He grunted a
that
lot.
and Crom.
Oh, there's one other series I was just going to ask. Has anybody watched The Outsider yet? The one based on
It's
the
in my
Stephen
queue,
King.
Stephen King series.
Right.
It's in my queue. It's on HBO.
The Picard series, the greatest travesty of the Star Trek universe. I
What?
mean, the Picard series.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I haven't got on that yet either.
You won't miss anything.
Oh, really?
It's bad.
Oh.
It's really bad.
Is that a CBS? That's not a
It is.
CBS
It
one.
is CBS.
Oh, okay. They've got
That's-
the Star Trek license.
I
See-
like Star Trek.
Can't do network. Network stuff. just
Me neither.
doesn't-
I don't have cable. I don't even do most subscriptions, most things. But it's like, you know what? I really like Next Generation. I really like Star Trek as a whole. I was hoping. I was like, my boy Picard's coming back and it's gonna be great. And the writer's like, hey, this is what we know about Next Generation. Throw it in the garbage bin and then write a whole new series.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me so sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So good. I know it makes. I mean, if you are a big Trekkie person, it is add a lot to the universe. But I think it is very deviating from what a lot of people know as Star Trek, and I think that's why it's going to be. I don't know.
Controversial.
Controversial, and I think some people really like it. But if you are really in love with the things that made Star Trek great,
Which most people probably are if they like Star Trek.
then I think people can have problems with this. Like the way Star Trek handles politics, or the way Star Trek handles just world events. And that I think Star Trek was one of the series that pushed sci-fi a lot, and it just doesn't. It's very how should I put it? Like traditionally modern influence of sci-fi, where it's very bland and kind of flashy and doesn't offer a lot on narrative. and where I think Star
Style
Trek.
over substance.
Yeah, and I think Star Trek was always so subtle about things, but it had such great morals and outcomes of things. But I could go on about Star Trek, but there's a lot of issues.
It's another episode.
We are going to be talking
One I'll
about
be dipping for.
TV shows and some new movies coming out in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, we got a TV show show
We
planned.
talked about that in I think 2 more episodes, and we're there. Yeah. So,
Bring Michelle on.
Yep, 5-timer.
Wow, she's
So
gonna
Ross.
need a jacket.
Ross, you gotta
What the
work
fuck
your
are
way
these
up there.
things for now?
Well, let's play some board games, and I'll get there.
Yeah, really.
Some D&D next. We'll play some all kinds of board games. What we should do is figure out category, and I'll bring a board game for that category, and we'll dive into it.
All right, and
First school games.
I
One
like that.
a thought that I had was that if everybody else is videotaping themselves playing games and putting them out, why the hell shouldn't we?
It could be enlightening, or at least fun.
Yeah. So next time we sit down to play a game, maybe we'll film it.
As long as it's cooperative games.
Yes.
Oh yes.
And put it out there.
Play competitive games.
No, we're gonna
put it
make you
on.
play Munchkin.
Don't make me play competitive games.
He won't show up.
Don't make me play competitive games. You don't want to see me play competitive games.
I've seen it once in a while.
That's funny.
It's not
I've
good.
seen it
We
once or
do
twice.
have big news though, because VTS will be back at this year's. I don't even know what to call it anymore because I've seen 3 different names
Yeah.
from this
Amazing
thing.
Super
So have I.
Comic and Toy Las Vegas
Yeah,
Con.
and then you look at the stars that are there, and it says Cool World, and then Instagram still says ToyCon. So it's the Las Vegas Toy Con that's coming up in
March.
So we usually have our booth there, but we're not going to be boothing it this year. We're going to be there
Podcasting.
as media presence. So we're going to be
Oh, wow.
checking out everybody else and maybe doing some interviews and doing some live stream stuff and things like that. But we were excited to get the media passes. So thanks to Las Vegas
Toy-Con.
ToyCon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When is that?
March.
It's the 13th
That's yes. I was
through
gonna
the
say.
15th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good.
And we won't have a booth there. We've had the last 2 years we've had a booth there.
Mm-hmm.
We won't this year, but we
We're
still
gonna
do.
Cards and stickers, right?
We'll have cards and stickers. So yeah, obviously if you see us, but we'll talk to you before then. But
Yeah.
if you're there and you see us,
Come up and
but
say hi.
we do have some blind bags still available.
All right.
And who knows, we may be giving them away
Hey.
or selling them
Easy.
Who knows?
What
Who knows?
the?
to the right person.
So to the shout out now that we've all been waiting for.
I thought you gave it.
Bated breath.
How much of this show are we going to give these
I didn't
kids?
give the
Yeah,
shout out.
they got a scolding to put
I
that.
know,
iPad
but in
down
all
class.
seriousness, thanks Alex and Frank for watching.
Yeah, we
Seriously,
appreciate
boys,
you guys.
Don't watch it during class. That's not cool. Watch it at home. Do your work. Be good students.
Yes.
My goodness.
But thank you for watching it.
But yeah, thanks for watching and getting some reviews.
And thanks for multiple views, which jacks our view count up.
And please,
Exactly.
Alex and Frank, encourage your friends to watch and like and subscribe.
Just not during class.
There's
But
no
not
very
during
class.
class.
At least not during Miss W's class.
Yes.
Oh.
Either Miss W's class, right? You got.
We can do
Yeah,
it
there's a
for
couple. Yeah. All right.
And then, can I do a few?
Yeah, for sure.
So I have, if you are in the Reno area, I know this is more Vegas, but if you're in the Reno area, I have a art show I'm going to be a part of called the Skull Show.
Oh, wow.
It is in, the reception is going to be May 1st, but it's going to be available for viewing at the UNR Art Gallery from end of April through the end of May. And then I have an art installation that should be up for display at the Dawson Building of Nevada State College. That should be up here in March.
Wow.
That will be permanently installed in the Building of Education here soon.
Permanently?
We will have to go and see.
Smokes.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
Yeah, congratulations.
So if anyone's in those areas, go check out some of my sculpture pieces. And,
If you're in Reno or the Nevada State College,
Yep.
Those areas.
which
That's cool.
we probably have listeners, viewers in Reno. I mean,
know.
we've got them in Australia.
Oh, wow.
I know, yeah. Someone commented on top of the set.
Whoa. So you're saying we're world famous technically?
We have an
let's not
international
go
audience.
that
We have an international audience. It's
That's
official
right.
now.
And then, I guess if they're that international, and then I have a piece that should be it's at Franconia Sculpture Park until the end of summer, where it should be hopefully continue on display, but it might be taken down there. But that's in Schaefer, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, hey?
This guy's got work all over the country.
You're going
Reno,
everywhere.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Making
That's
moves.
awesome, man.
I try.
Very cool.
Plug it.
All right.
Nice.
I have one final thought to leave you with, and I'm curious if this means anything to any of you. Maclunkey.
Oh my God, no!
Nobody knows Maclunkey yet.
Serious? Oh, you three are definitely going to need to go home tonight and Google Maclunkey.
Google Maclunkey.
Crickets.
It's gonna get me in trouble.
No.
Somebody got burst in my door.
You are going to regret not knowing.
Shall I explain? I should explain.
Well, very
All right.
briefly.
So, A New Hope has changed once again, apparently. People are reporting now that their digital versions, which
Really?
I own hard copies, so when I watch Star Wars, well, I usually watch whatever's on cable, but when I want to watch it, but if you own a digital copy now, your version of A New Hope, not only does Greedo shoot first, but before he does, they inserted a word that was never in the original
Maclunkey!
that nobody knows. And it's a real quick
You
shot.
have to see it.
Says
They-
it's been canon for 7 years.
Oh, it's just
No.
people are
No,
just
because of Disney Plus. That's
people
the
are just
thing.
starting to notice
It
that. I think
broke
maybe because of yeah. See, Disney said that George Lucas actually did it before they bought him or something like
Yeah.
that. But
which would fit the timeline.
I've never seen it before, and I've seen it when it's
Well,
been on
because
TV or
people, that
whatever.
just goes to say, if this really did happen 7 years ago, people aren't watching their digital copies. But thanks to Disney Plus, everybody's like, oh, let's rewatch
Yeah,
A New
let's
Hope, let's
rewatch
rewatch.
it, yeah.
And then people start talking like, wait, did he just say something? What'd he say?
He said Maclunkey.
Why do they keep editing?
You have to,
It's the most ridiculous.
What someone needs to do is go through and like every famous piece of like they should like edit like Casablanca and be like Maclunkey.
oh my God,
Like,
great
all scenes,
idea.
and just like insert it.
Frankly, Scarlett Maclunkey.
Oh,
Play it
guys,
again, Maclunkey.
we need to get on this
Oh my
before this goes public
He's
Friday.
gonna hear it.
No, wait, do it before Friday, and we'll get. So we've got a few days.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There's seriously video clips of showing
Yeah,
the
comparison.
scene, the original,
Comparison.
the first
my
version
gosh.
tweaked, then another version, and then Maclunkey. You don't
Did
believe
they
it,
say it before he gets shot? Like what
He
is
said,
this?
yeah. Apparently, it
dude.
means it's
You just gotta look for
you
it.
gotta look
tonight.
for it.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it.
But
I'm
it's
just
a
wondering, is it
phrase-
like
Oh my
a
God.
slur at Han Solo or
It's
something?
a phrase that was used in another movie, I guess, and I can't remember. You probably read it. Another character
Clunky
said
yourself.
it's not Maclunkey, but the way he says it, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
And it means this is the end of you or something like
Oh.
that. So they thought, well, we'll make him say that, and then he'll shoot, and then Han will shoot him, and then Han's not such a bad guy. But
It's the most awkward
Whatever.
insertion that you've ever seen.
yeah,
Han
well,
Solo's a
I mean,
space pirate.
we've seen some awkward insertions
That's
before.
crazy. It'll never be Utini. 'Cause
No.
that even made it into The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, Maclunkey is gonna. You'll be seeing it on mugs and T-shirts and hats and. Anyways, you gotta watch it for yourself and
Does Han say, I know afterwards? Maclunkey, I know.
So. There you
All
go.
right, this has gone
It's definitely got
out of control and off the rails. So,
It's gone off the McClunkin rails.
for those of you still listening, we appreciate it. Oh, man.
Yep.
All right.
Oh boy.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. That's the final word from VTS. So thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out obviously all of our social media pages, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you to all of those checking out Top of the Stack. That's getting more and more views every week, so I appreciate that. Don't forget to comment and like on everything that you see. Share it. Get your friends to do it. And
Thank
we
you, Ross.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you for
right. I
coming
see, I always
back.
forget that. Anytime. Yeah, we got to get you back more so you can catch up to Michelle.
She's not gonna be happy with that one.
All right, but we are the Vegas Toy Squad, and that is BTS, and BTS is
Maclunkey.
Maclunkey.
Maclunkey!
Maclunkey.